stick to questions coming from those watching live. And this one says, how can a hot-tempered leader manage a team where there are stubborn people that goes against his instruction? This is okay. Let me throw this to Minister Joyce Silva. He's saying he's a hot-tempered leader, and he gives instruction. There are people going against his instruction. So, what advice do you have for him?
From the question, there is a problem.
Big problem.
A very huge problem. Problem from the followership and also from the leader itself. Well, I don't know who the question is coming from.
It's coming from the leader.
It's coming from the leader.
He's saying he's hot-tempered. Okay. Then when he gives instruction to his followers, they are stubborn. They don't obey his instructions.
There is a major work to be done on that situation. Thank God the leader is aware of his hot-temperedness. That is a major thing he needs to work on. And one thing we need to understand is that character alone can make a follower rather to react over anything. In as much as you know that you have this hot-temperedness, you cannot want to force your followers to adapt or to take you as you are at that point. Because when you want to talk about hot-temperedness, it can make you do so many things.
Yes.
At a particular time before you now come back to consciousness. So you will not expect you reacting to somebody and don't expect an opposite reaction.
True.
Most of the time.
Man of God, I know you are very eager to answer this because you made a statement that you were once like this. So what can you say a leader that is hot-tempered and followers that he claims are stubborn?
I think strongly, firstly, you must realize that in every leadership, you must understand the place of system and not self.
Yes.
System produce law and order. Where there's no law, there's no abuse. So why, two major things. Firstly, why you think yourself is projected is because, first of all, you have not built a system, you've built self.
Yes. Yes.
When you understand that in leadership, you must separate yourself from the system.
From the system.
No matter what is done, it's not done to you, it's done to the system.
Yeah.
That's how you scale. I was speaking to somebody and I said, one of my followers misbehaved. And I told him, we're talking in leadership meeting, and I told them, I said, I'm not angry as a person. I said, as a person, I can walk away. But for system's sake, I will not walk away. I said, you know why? Because when a person offends an office, you are not offending a person, you're offending a structure.
Yes.
And once you bend the rule because of that person, once you leave, you create a vacuum that people that comes after him will continuously break it. So once a system is in place, there should be law and order. And who goes against it? You are not involved.
Yes.
It's a system that takes over.
Yeah.
So it takes you and your personality away. And you must understand that in leadership, you are not emotional. You are structural. The difference between being emotional and being structural.
Yes.
So in leadership, you are not emotional. You do not react to people whether they are your friends or not. You are reacting to things based on what the system tells you, what the structure says. If the structure says people have to do A, B, even if it's your mother that does C, B, it goes for it. When you get home, you can continue to be family. I used to be in a music group that my brother was the coordinator. If I come late, the punishment I will get. Other people might come late will just say, okay, today is the day of grace. But me, do you know why? Because it's building a system and not a person. So you must, he first of all needs to realize, undermining, like he said, he needs to work on his personality, his character, and that's when temperament comes in place.
Yes.
People, if you watch that kind of person, it's not an extrovert, it's an introvert.
Yeah.
And people like us, we are introvertic. We are introverts. We are people that can stay in this room for 2 hours and not speak to anybody.
Yes.
We'll just be here.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at ourselves. We're internalizing everything. So because of that disadvantage, it makes us that if you do anything to us, we can use 100 years to think about it and think about what we want to do to you.
Yeah.
But as you grow in leadership, you now realize that that's not an advantage. It's a disadvantage. You don't need to now start working on it. It's an advantage because it gives you strength to internalize a matter.
Critical thinking.
Critical thinking. But it's only an advantage because now you can now hurt people instead of creating a structure. So that one of the business is that you work on yourself, but also understand that you create a system and not a self.
Yes.
So if a system is in place, you now have issues.
All right.
Say something. The bottom line, he has actually hit the point because creating a system helps you regulate the stubbornness in the follower and, of course, your hot-temperedness. Because if there's actually a system and structure on ground, we would not be laying emphasis on the stubbornness of a follower and the hot-temperedness of a leader. Because when you really have a structure, it helps manage your hot-temperedness. Because there's no place anymore for it. There's a structure on ground. You follow it like this. You follow to the letter. Already, these things are already, they are black and white. Yeah. So when you follow, of course, we know there are offenders. We know people that will always disobey. But it will be minimal. Yeah. Because there's a set down rule and regulation on ground that this is how it should be. Okay. So when you are going against it and the man reacts with a hot-tempered, fine, he needs to work on his hot-temperedness. But that's him as a person. He's working on himself. You understand what I'm saying? But when he reacts, somehow it's justified because you've broken all the rules that are set down there to follow. Then your stubbornness is nowhere to be found in the place. You understand what I'm saying? So he has actually hit his system structure. When they are on ground, the self is no longer a problem.
All right.